So what we learned previously, we are using the Django REST framework to show our data in the web. And the data in the web is in the format of Json. Okay, if you run the API, then you will see all the data. And if you want to see the detail of this data, then you can type the ID. Okay. Maybe this one. Okay, and let's look on the code. So in the views.py, we have two classes. So maybe you can see that this is a class, it is not a function. Usually we create function, but now we create a class, and this class is inherited. So there is an inheritance with this class. Okay. I hope by now you understand the concept of OOP, okay, object-oriented programming. Because if you learn the programming and if you have issues with the OOP, yeah, it's difficult to understand this one. But this one is the concept of inheritance. It inherits the superclass. So this is the superclass. And the query set is obtained from the post. Post is the data. And I want to show all the data. And what I'm going to do next is to show the serializer. What is this post serializer? It is from the file serializer. So the file serializer is a file to show what data that you want to show it in the JSON file. So here there is a class post serializer, and this class use this serializer, model serializer, and we are going to use any of the fields in the model post. Okay, let's say, okay, I do not want to share this data. Okay, so I can just remove it. Okay, I don't want to share this data, so I can just remove this, and then you can run again. Then the data that you can share on the link is only the ID, title, and content. It is from the serializer. Okay. Okay, let's just keep all the data. I want to share all the data in the JSON. So this is the post list, and I'm using the list API view. Now I have another class. The class name is post detail. So actually this class name, yeah, you can define by yourself. And this class is an inheritance from this retrieve API view. Here I would like to check the all data, and then I will put this serializer class as the post serializer. And you can see that this post detail actually Okay, when you call the link, if there is no number, then we call every data. But if we use the integer value, we are going to call the post detail. And because this is a class, so I just call the class and then I call the function to view the data into the JSON format. So this Django framework, the Django REST framework, it has a method, okay, or it has a function as view, and it will give you the automatic way to show the data in the JSON in the web. And this is also another function as view from this post detail to show on the web. Now you can look at the operations here. Last time we learned that the operation that we have are for create, read, update, and delete. And you can see the SQL like this one, insert, select, update, delete. And for the HTTP request or response, you can utilize this function. In the REST framework, they have their own function. So this is the generic view, some of the generic view in the REST framework. So I cannot teach you all, but I think this is only the representative that you can use. For example, I would like to list the API. So it will be used for read-only endpoints to represent a collection of model instances. If I want to retrieve API view, so this is to read the endpoints that represent a single model instance. So we can see only one instance. Destroy API. It is used for delete only for a single instance. Update API. It is used for update only a single instance. List create API. So we can read and write. We have the retrieve update API. It is to read or update. And this is for single model. Sorry, single instance. This retrieve destroy API is to read or delete. And this one, retrieve update destroy, means you can use it for many functions like read, write, and delete. So it depends on your objective. You can choose. So for example, let's change the method. So I give you this method in the link. So you already have this method. So let's choose this one, and then I will put this, and I change this. Okay. For the retrieve API view, okay, I will also put so the post list and the post detail. Now it has the new function or the new superclass that we want to refer to. And then let's look at the result. What is the difference? We have a new panel. This is to do something. What is it? We call it, this is the create. So we can create a new data. So by using this one, then you can allow other user to put more data without accessing your database. And let's say I will Okay, let's say I'm going to use the for post. Okay, so I'm going to post the for post trial for post. Okay, and then if I post this one, it will show that yeah, this is the new data. The ID is for, and then the title is for post, the trial for post, and then the date is yeah, now. If you look at the raw data, then it is in the format of Json. And if you refresh, oh, sorry, I make another when I refresh, so it add more data here. So this is a new data that we have just updated. So because I pressed 2 times, so it shows another data here. Now you can look at, yeah. For example, now I want to show the index 5. So when you look at the index 5, you can see there is a new button, delete. And if you click get, then you can get or read the data. And yeah, you can also have the modification panel. So here you can put, okay, it is not post, it is to put. It means we can modify the data. So as you know, we use the retrieve, update, destroy API. So retrieve, update, destroy API. It means when we open this page, we can delete, we can update, and we can read the data. So let's say if I want to delete, so are you sure you want to delete this one? Then the data is deleted. If you go back to the data, then the ID number 5 has been deleted. Okay. So that's the basic REST framework. Now let's try to figure out how we can use feeder. So what does it mean by feeder? And yeah, we will learn a little bit about Ajax. So in the next chapter, we will learn many things about Ajax, but now we will just learn a very basic one. So you will learn about the Ajax, what is the meaning by parse, and then let's use the fit parser. So it means we are parsing the JSON, and then we are going to look at the JSON external view and some basic about Ajax. So what is Ajax? We call it Ajax. It is the asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So Ajax is not a programming language. So it is using a combination of a browser built-in XML HTTP request object. It means something to request the data from the web server. And it also utilizes the JavaScript and the HTML DOM. DOM is the data object model. People said the Ajax is a developer's dream because you can update a web page without reloading the page. So whenever you do with the web page, the most challenging part is when you reload the page, it is heavy. If you have a very big application, then it will be very heavy. So people try to adopt the JavaScript, so the client can contribute. So some of the work on the server can be distributed to the client. So the Ajax also can request the data from the server. So after the page has loaded, and it can receive the data from the server after the page has loaded. So it means it will not do anything on the in the HTML. So the HTML will be remaining state as it is, but the connection between the server and the client, it will be from the JavaScript. So we can connect like this one, and the HTML will just stay as it is. So to send data to a server in the background. So we will not refresh HTML, but we will just deal with the background here. So this is a kind of architecture to represent when you have the browser, okay, and when the browser want to access the server, so the browser will go to the internet and then check the HTTP request to the server, and then it return back the result with the JavaScript, and then it will update the content. So people say that this mechanism is more light, or you can say that the time consumption can be reduced and the size of the web page can be reduced as well. In order to understand the Ajax, so we need to understand the parts. What is parts? We call it parse. It is to write and read the file. So in the beginning of this slide, you already learned how to write, how to read, especially the XML or JSON. And we can change the format into other relevant format. For example, I have a TXT file, and then I want to make it as a JSON. Then I can say that I want to parse. I want to parse from text file to JSON. So parsing method is necessary to view the file in a representative way. So parsing XML and JSON refer to the method to write and read those files. And in addition, conversion between two files are also considered as parsing. So we learn about the XML, we learn about the JSON, and then we know some website they can do the parsing. So parsing is also referring to showing the result in a proper format. So you can also parse the JSON to table. You can parse the data into HTML. We can also say that it is parse. Now I would like to show you how we can show our JSON. So let's say I have my own JSON before, and then I want to show this JSON into the web. So previously we have the API to show the data, but maybe some of you want to show only the JSON and the static way. So let's see. Let's update the views.py. I will put this one in the below. And for this purpose, let me check. Okay. I'm not sure about the Mac, okay, but it works on Windows. So this import, it means that we will find what is the path. The path means where is the location of your project. Yeah, I hope that it works for every operating system. And in this case, I have the data in this folder. So the basic res is the folder of the project. And then the testing data, it is the folder that I use previously. So this testing data, it contains the book data.json. So I have one function which is JSON view, and I want to get the file, and then I would like to put it into the variable data. So data will be a kind of dictionary, and then let's show the data into the HTTP or the web. So let's see with this one. I would like to put one more URL in the urls.py. So there will be an error here because we need to import. We need to import this from view. You can just import the function from views. So it will be okay. And after that, you can try to run it. So I will run like this link. Okay, maybe this is because of the it seems that they don't need this basic REST. Okay. Yeah. I think there's some different version. They improve the way to do the file path, so they don't need the basic REST folder, and they just need the folder inside your project. So in this case, the folder is testing data, and you can see that this is the file that we already created before. This is the JSON file related to the book. So if you look at this one, it is the same with the book data.json. So this is the book data.json that we created in the first part of this lecture. So we want to show this one into the web. So the JSON will be automatically shown in the web, just the original format of the JSON. Okay. So if you look at the code, we want to retrieve the file. So we want to get the current working directory. So the CWD is the current working directory. It means, my computer will be different with your computer. That's why it is good to use this OS, it is the operating system, get CWD to get the path, and then what is the relevant path. So I define this relevant path is the testing data because I saved the book data.json in the testing data. And then I would like to prepare a variable which is data. It is a dictionary. So if I declare this one, then it is an empty dictionary. And then I would like to open the book data.json, I will read it and I will put it into this dictionary. So we are using the json.load and we are handling this into this data. And in order to show it in the web, so I just dump. I think last time we also learned about this dumps. It means I'm going to put this into the JSON format and I'm using this one to show it into the web. Now I would like to teach you how we can parse. What does it mean by parse here? So let's say I have this book and then I want to parse this book. I want to pass this data into my table, or I want to pass this data into my database. I want to pass this data into my web. Then how can we do that one? Simple way is we can use a library, and this library name is fit parser. We call this is a feeder. Okay, so let's install this one. I think by now you know that we can install the library in the terminal. You can open your terminal here. Okay, so you can just install pip install fit parser. Okay, in my case, I already have this one. So please install it in your computer. You can use this terminal or you can use the Anaconda prompt. So you can use Anaconda prompt to install the fit parser. I think the fit parser is light, so you can install it very fast. Now, let's look at the more complex problem. Okay. So I will not use the book because the book is very easy. Now let's look at this fit. So I use this as an example. This is a blog of someone and they share the fit. Okay. So I just choose randomly. This is a blog from someone and it is difficult to see what is this data. Okay. Then how can we extract this into our web? If the data is small like this, it is easy. But if the data is quite challenging like this one, you need to understand this XML and then you need to understand this channel. What is this channel? Okay, you can see that, okay, this is a link from this guy. Okay, let's see, what is this? So you can check. Okay, this is a blog. Okay, this is a spiritual destination. So I don't know the guy. So I just use the website. So we can use the fit from him. Okay, so there's some fit like this one, but okay, let's focus on this fit. And you can see that this is the link. And then you can see the description. And then when the person updated the content and what is the language. And then the update period is hourly. And the generator is using the WordPress and so on. So I guess this is the fit generated by WordPress. WordPress is one of the blog site, so people can use this for free. And if you look at this one, what do you want to extract? Okay, let's say I want to extract all the contents that they already post. So if he posts something, like this one, okay, he posts another thing, and then he posts another thing. Okay, let's look at how we can extract this post. So I can just parse. Okay. I can parse this link, and then now I would like to put all the contents into this viewfit.html. And then let's the fit. This fit will go to the fits into the HTML. Okay, let me use this one, and then I will update in the views.py. So I use the view fit, and I import the fit parser to call this fit. And then what I'm going to do next is to okay, so I'm going to use two fit. Okay, later we will see the ESPN. So the ESPN last time we already know this is the news. Okay, so they share the XML, so we can utilize it. Okay, so they share the XML, so we can, let's say, how we can extract this one into our web. So the first part, we already put the view into our views.py. Now, let's put one more URL. Okay, so we can make view feed, and this view feed will extract the data from the other feed. So I can update the URL as.py. I put this one, and because I still do not import this view feed, you can just import it. Okay. After you have this one, then let's put an HTML file. So for this HTML file, I do not want to make a complex HTML file, so I will just put this one. You know how we can create the HTML file. We need to have HTML, body, and then head, okay? But I do not want to make it complex. I just use this one, UL. You still remember what is UL? Order, please. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So let's do this into the templates. And then let's make the view fit HTML. So you just copy and paste, and then let's check this one. So we get all the data from the feed. So what is this data? So you see before, this is the title of the blog. So this is the individual fields are interconnected. So this is the title, the first title, and then the second title, and then the third title, and so on. So we extract all the titles and we put it into our web. So if I click this one, let's say this one, then it will go to that blog, and it will go to this directly this title. So how we can know this one? So let's look at this. In this case, I am going to do the for loop, and then I am going to check the entries. Fits the entries. So it is a method to do the iteration. Okay. What is the fit? The fit is the data that we get from feed parser. So in the feed parser, there is a method, they call it entries, and it will iterate for every of the entries from the data that you want to get. And for every entry, I want to get the link. And I want to get the title. And then if I click on the link, then I will open a new page. So you know the target blank, it means it opens a new tab. Now, how can I know that this is the title? If you look at the column here, you can see there is a title here. So you can determine only the important tag. Let's say, okay, this important tag is title, then okay, you can get the title. And then the other tag that is important is the link. So the link is the link on that blog. So if I click this title, then it will go to this link. So that's why I use those two attributes in my web. So I use link, it is to get the link, and then I use the title. So whenever the person clicks this link, then it will go directly to that title. Okay. Now, let's change. How if I use the ESPN? So in the PyCharm, I already put the. Okay, you can close this one. You can close, and then you can open the below link. So if you look at this one, it is another XML. So I'm going to pass. Okay? So I'm going to pass this data and put it into the feeds. And then again, I would like to put it into the view feed and run again the iteration. Now let's see what happened if I refresh this. Now it shows the link from the ESPN. Let's say I'm going to click. So you can see there are so many data at this moment. Maybe they just show in the view feed is the top 20 or top something. Okay, let's click this one. Then it goes directly to this page. Okay. Now you need to find out how we can know this data. So you can go to this ESPN. In this ESPN, you will see that we have the title and we have the link. And then if you go to the details, you will see the title. And then you will see the link. Okay. And so on. And because you already know that this tag is related to the news, so I can just extract the title and the link. So you can get any other data. For example, you want to get the description, or let's say you want to know the publication date. So you can just put more items in your HTML file. Okay, so I hope that you know how to put the next attributes. For example, you want to know the publication date, or you want to know the description, you can put it here. Okay. Most of the newsfeed will provide almost the same XML structure. Almost the same, but not the same. So if you are dealing with the news or blog, most of them they will have link and title. Yeah, for sure, most of them they will have this. So whenever you want to extract news or whenever you want to extract the link, then you can use this kind of format. In general, each domain will have its own specifications. Because we are dealing with the news and blog, so maybe they are similar, so the structure are similar. But if you are going to extract the data from stock, maybe it's different. If you are going to extract the data from maybe one of the team, you want to extract the data from zoo, okay, so the zoo is different. Yeah. So you need to check the data. Okay. For example, other teams you want to extract the data from bus, okay, then yeah, you need to know what is this tag. If you can extract it, then you can just change according to the tag that has been given. Okay, so many data are available. So you can just use the same as the newsfeed using XML. And for the JSON, it's more general and usually comes with their own specification. So the JSON are available with some other format. So let's see if you are using the data set. I think last time I already showed you this one. So there are many data set with JSON. So for example, the global temperature anomaly. If you click this one, then oh, it's not working now. So like this one. So this is the climate data. So they start this JSON and they open for public. So you can extract this data and then you can use, for example, for the machine learning or yeah, for the data analysis. But of course, it is in the JSON format. You need to make it into like CSV or yeah, text file. So you can use yeah some ways later. Okay, this is also another data. If some website they provide the JSON, then you can extract it in the JSON format. So this is the data in the US. They provide the CSV, RDF, JSON, and XML. It's for most common files. Okay. So if you learn only one, yeah, this class will teach you the JSON and XML. I think it's enough. The RDF format is a little bit different. Okay. And also in our country, they have the data.go.kr. In Korea, yeah, they provide this one, the Kongung data, and you can have any data that has been shared. Maybe they have some limitation, but most of them they have the JSON and XML, JSON and XML. Maybe some of them they don't share the data, they just use the HWP, but I think most of them they will provide the JSON and XML. Some of them maybe only XML and so on. Now let's look at how we can extract the JSON. Okay. So in this example, we'll apply two additional approaches, how we can use the Ajax and how we can use the data table. I think I need more time to explain this one. Let's have a break. I will continue after the break.